The Garmin Tread is a power sports navigation system specifically designed for ATVs, UTVs, and snowmobiles. This is IPX7 rated, which means it's going to stand up to the weather. And this is much more than just a navigation system and is very affordable compared to other similar products that are out on the market that can do as much as this can. So in a nutshell, some of the things this can do and what it has is, number one, you've got preloaded off-road maps. That includes US Forest Service and BLM maps on there. It shows you public and private land boundaries, and if you want, you can download your custom maps to it. Now, like I said, it does much more than just navigation. So one of my favorite features with this is the group ride. Now, with group ride, you're going to be able to track up to 20 different riders that are in your group. You're going to see where they're at on your screen. You can send messages to each other, and you have a fist mic to communicate with them. Now, the range with the fist mic will depend on what terrain you're in and whether or not you have a long range antenna, but typically you're going to get a 1 to 2 mile range with that. Now, why that's so important to us out in the West is typically when we go ride, we have a lot of dust, and you want to space out. You don't want to be eating dust all day. So again, that's a simple way to keep track of everybody and make sure nobody gets lost. And if someone has a problem, they can simply let you know and you can go help them out. Now, the last thing I want to mention about the group ride feature with this, it's only going to work with other Garmin Treads or the Garmin Zumo. Now, with the Garmin Zumo, you're going to have to do an update to pair with these. But other than that, if your friends' machines came with other navigation systems or they installed other aftermarket navigation systems, this is not going to work with those. Now, some of the other features you want to know about with the Garmin Tread is this is actually going to pair with several different devices. So we're actually running a backup camera on our machine, and you simply pair it up, and we have it set up so as soon as we start our machine, we can see what's going on behind us and simply switch from that to our navigation screen. Now, this also pairs to your phone, so if you want to play music on this, or we are also going to be installing a Garmin power switch. Now, the power switch is really cool. It allows you to control up to 6 different accessories on your machine, whether it be rock lights, lighting accessories, lighted whips, fans, heated seats, anything like that. And there's a lot you can do with it. You can do speed sensitive lighting, or you can set it up so your lights either turn on at dusk and turn off at dawn. So there's some really cool stuff you can do with this. If you want to know more about that, you're going to want to watch the spotlight video on this. But other than that, we're going to talk about installation. Now, the installation is pretty simple and straightforward. Almost anyone can do it, and it's going to be a similar process for just about any side-by-side. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Something nice about the Garmin Tread is it comes with everything you need all in one convenient package. So that's going to include the fist mic, the display screen, all the necessary wiring, your antenna, the mounts, and zip ties to secure the wiring. You also have these trim rings you can change out for a slightly different look. And the only thing out here that is not included in the kit is this ram mount. And we just sourced this one because we are not going to be mounting this to our roll cage. We wanted to go with a slightly different location. So if you need this or the Garmin Tread, they are available on our website, so be sure to check that out. Now, we've also decided to use the Garmin long range antenna with our setup, and that's just going to make it so we can run this antenna all the way to the back, but more importantly, we're going to have way better reception with this. To start out, we'll show you the standard setup first, since that's what most people are going to do. So to get this installed on the A-pillar, we're going to take this clamp, wrap it around. Now, there's different sizes of roll cages, so you might have to move these rubber straps around for the best optimal fit for your machine. We'll go ahead and put that on there. And then I'm just going to use a 7mm socket on a T-handle to get this clamped down. And if you tighten this down with the T-handle, just make sure you don't strip it out. We're not putting a ton of torque on that, just making sure it's tight and that this clamp is not going to move. So once you've done that, we've got that in towards the cab, we can go ahead and tighten down our mount. And when you put this on and tighten everything down, just make sure that the side that says Garmin is facing up. So I'm going to loosely tighten this down. That way we have a little bit of adjustability still. Once you have it where you want it, you can finish tightening it down. And all you have to do to mount the screen, this is only going to go on one way because there's a wider slot at the bottom, but we're going to hook the bottom onto the mount. and then the top of the screen just clicks into place. So there it is. If you want to release it, press that button. Real simple deal. So with that being said, you'd go ahead and run all your wires. But again, we're going to be mounting this in the center of our dash. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. And one other thing that's nice about having this clamp right here is it's so thin that even if you have a windshield or other accessories, it should be able to work with that. So since we're using a different mounting location, we're just going to mock everything up and pick a spot for that ram mount that is going to be in the best spot for this. And then we're going to use a pink pin and we're going to mark where we're going to be drilling. So mounting the tread up like this is working out perfectly on our X3, and it's going to allow our passengers to see and control the tread as well. And then we're going to have 3 cords coming from this. So we're going to drill a hole to run those cords. We need, one of them is that power cord. So we're going to be going straight down through there. Same thing with the mic cord and the antenna. So I'm just going to make a hole right here, and it's going to end right where this little notch is. Now when you're choosing a mounting point, one thing that's really important is anytime you're drilling, you want to check the back side of what you're drilling. Make sure you're not going to go into any wires or damage any other items. So on the back side of this, there's nothing there, so we know we can go ahead and drill. Now we're going to put our mount in place. We've sourced 3 machine screws, some washers, and some nylock nuts to go on this. So we'll set those screws in place and install the washers and nuts. Next, we need to run our power wire from this mount to either the bus bar or the battery. So each machine, that's going to look a little different. If you have a Polaris, your bus bar is going to be under the hood. For these Can-Ams, it's on the side of that center console. So we're just going to run this down to that. So to do that on our machine, we're going to remove the seat and some of these plastic covers. Now before we begin any wiring, we're going to disconnect our negative battery terminal. So now that we have access to our wiring harness and the bus bar, we're going to route our power wire up to our mounting location for the screen. But when we do this, I'm going to remove this rubber cap. It's going to make it easier to route through all this stuff. And we're just following the existing wiring harness. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of slack up here. As you route this, keep in mind that you can connect the wires either directly to a 12-volt power source like the battery or to key on power. Since our machine has a bus bar, we will be connecting to that. And the benefit of going to key on power is you won't have to turn the tread on and off every time you stop the vehicle. Now, on the other hand, if you connect to a constant power source, you can turn the machine off and still use the tread while you're waiting for your friends. So to get this done, we just need to crimp on these eyelets to the end of our wires and use a heat gun to melt that heat shrink. But if for one of these, maybe the ground wire, you need some extra length, what you can do is add this section of wire that comes in the kit. You can use the butt connector to get that installed and then install the eyelet on the end. Now on these bus bars, make sure you pay attention. These are different than the Polaris bus bar. So we've got our key on power, our main power, and then this one is going to be the ground. And then when you tighten these down, make sure you don't crank them. You don't want to break this. Now that we're hooked up, we are going to zip tie our power wire down. Now with this, again, we're pretty much following the stock wiring harness, but you know, the main thing is you want to avoid hot parts, any sharp edges or rotating parts that could damage this wire. All right, so now that we have this cable in the correct position, we went ahead and removed our screen. We're gonna push this back through, and we need to get our fist mic mounted up. And the first thing I'm gonna do is work this end of the connector through that hole we drilled. This is our biggest connector. So at this point, I can go ahead and work the power cable back through. So there's not a ton of places for us to mount this fist mic. We could mount it up to the side right here, but that might kind of get in the way of your knee. So for us, I think we're gonna go right about here. To get it mounted up, we're gonna install the 3 screws. Now one more thing with this, since we're installing it on an uneven surface, we did put some foam tape on the backside just to help support it a little better. So from here, if we wanted to, we could hook up our power wires, twist the lock together, hook up the fist mic to the side, and then install this antenna right on top. But, you know, if you were on an ATV, this would be great. But since we have a roll cage and we want to get good reception, what we want to do, the kit comes with this cable to run your antenna to the back of the roll cage. Now, one thing with this, if you mount it up right where Garmin recommends on that A-pillar, this is going to reach just fine all the way to the back. But with us, since we went in the middle, this isn't going to run all the way to the back. But as long as you're up above the roll cage, it's going to be just fine. Now with these antenna cables, ideally you want to avoid other wires. So what we're going to do is poke it through this dash, and then we're going to run it along underneath, and again avoid rotating parts or sharp edges, and then we're going to run it up to this A-pillar. Okay, now that we're roughly routed, I'm going to mount everything up. So first we have the power wire. Then we'll connect the fist mic. Then our antenna. Then we'll run the cable up across this roll cage. Make sure you have enough. I'm going to install this clamp around the mount before I zip tie this wire up. And from here you can go ahead and install your antenna. Just screw that down until it's tight. But again, we're installing that long range antenna. So what we're gonna do is unscrew this, and we're actually going to loosen this nut up and remove this cable from the mount. And we're gonna connect the new cable that came with that long range antenna and run it all the way to the back. But If you're not doing that, you can go ahead and start zip tying the cable down. The long range antenna comes with a different mount, so we're going to mount that up on the back of the roll cage. With our mount in place, we're going to route this cable so we don't have any extra that needs to be coiled up. If you do that, it can tend to get hot. So we're just taking a longer route to this mount. Now we can screw on that long range antenna. This is going to be a little bit tighter. We've got Loctite, some already dried Loctite on those threads. And then because this surface is powder coated, we don't have a wrench that fits perfectly, so we're just going to use this adjustable wrench. I know these things are the stripper wrenches, but in this scenario, it actually works pretty good. Just make sure you don't crank down too tight or this antenna will never come off. You know, and something nice about this is even though it's sticking way up, if we hit branches or whatever, it's just going to fold out of the way. So at this point, we can go ahead and reconnect the negative battery terminal. Now we're ready to check this thing out. So I'm just going to turn the key on. So we're just going to go through the prompts and get this set up. That's how you install the Garmin Tread on your side-by-side. Again, the process is going to be similar for just about any side-by-side, but if you still have questions, leave those down in the comments below. And if you need to pick one of these up, you can find them on our website. They qualify for free shipping. So put one in your cart, get it shipped to your house, get that baby installed. And if you want to see how to install that Garmin Power Switch or the Garmin BC40, we've got separate videos for those, so go check that out and subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.